I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Davis.
Here.
Parker.
Here.
Schneider.
Here.
Stoops.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Lucasar. Here. Lucas W.
Yes.
Non-agenda item from the sidelines, there is none. Any comments from the city administration? Do you have anything, Jennifer?
No.
No? Dave?
Senior night tomorrow night, July 15th is the next band down at the park, the Butter Hair Band. I put these banners up here so you guys can see. These are sponsors that sponsor the bands. The one banner is given to us by the guy that's going out and getting the sponsors for us. And these sponsors pay for the bands that come down there. And we need more sponsors to finish out the season. And the only sponsor we have from Memphis is B&D. The rest are from Richmond and the other areas. Like I said, tomorrow's senior day, and everything's lined up until September 16th for down at the park. And I had Phoenix Rising in there last Wednesday. There's 3 15-year-olds, and they're really good. And they're coming back on August 7th for Memphis Days Friday night to play down there. So they're really good.
After the parade?
Yeah, they'll be after the parade, and my wife's working on getting them in the parade. We're gonna put them on the back of the truck to advertise them so we can get people down there, and hopefully it'll work out. I leave that up to my wife. She comes up with these ideas, I don't. So, yeah, that's all I have tonight, guys.
Dave, these signs up, are they up permanently down there? Are they on the pavilion? Or where
We
do they-
take them down, put them up. One might go down there for the,
Oh, I was just curious.
yeah, no,
Where they-
I take them down. Harry comes down the house, we put them up.
Oh, so they go up that day or whatever, is that what it is?
Mhm.
Very nice.
Okay. Bart, did you have anything?
Nothing.
Nothing, okay. All right. Approval of the regular minute meetings of June 16th.
If there's no questions, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Support.
Parker.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Lucasar. Yes. Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Did I miss the adoption
Yeah,
of the
the
agenda? I
agenda.
think I did. If no changes, I believe I'll have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion to approve the agenda.
Support.
Schneider.
Yes.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Lucasar.
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes. And the next is the June disbursements of the $107,253.02 and electric wire transfers of $13,103.29. Need a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to accept the June disbursements report and the electronic transfers as presented.
Stoops.
Yes.
Wilson.
Yes.
Lucasar.
Yes.
Lucas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Parker.
Yes.
Schneider.
Yes.
Okay, I have no communications, no unfinished business, and on new business, smart credits. I think you were here about a month ago or so on this, Jack?
Yeah, well, I was here for the EMS contract, and it was mentioned at that time that the community had planned to, renew the EMS contract, and also use general funds versus smart dollars to fund the little transit buses that you see operating in town here on a pretty regular basis. And then they were to use the smart dollars to fund the senior and rec program transportation.
Right. Mm-hmm.
After that meeting, I contacted the mayor. I explained to him that through SMART, and more importantly through the Federal Transit Administration, who a lot of SMART's money comes from, when you folks give us $2,400, we actually get your $2,400 plus additional money back, almost double that amount from the FTA. So in other words, we get the $2,400 you give us, and then we get another it turns out to be just shy of $2,400, basically by using that, your first $2,400, what they call a match, for that dollars. So if we use your general funds, however, they don't let us do that same thing.
I
So,
did mention that to council.
So I had to explain to the mayor that if we could, if we could use your smart dollars and have council use your general funds for your rec program, actually we get more dollars to operate your little buses, and ask them if that would be acceptable. And so that's why
That's why
we're
you're back.
tonight.
Yeah, okay, I did mention to council after you talked to me about that, and that's what we were going to do. And it has no effect on the budget because you're just taking money from one place instead of the other. So the effect on the budget is negative. It has no fun. I mean, it's positive and no fun, no change whatsoever. So I think then what you want us tonight is to approve this the way this is written, and therefore it makes it more legal.
Right. Smart has sent you, I think, a document similar to what you had in years past. It just basically says you're going to take those credits. That's what they call them. You're going to take those credits and you're going to transfer them to the EMS for the operation of the community transit service. So and I'll just provide to council if you don't mind. There's just I went through the last 6 months just to see how many actual rides are being provided here in Memphis, and it fluctuates a little bit month to month. We had a couple slower months in December and January where people don't always come out, and then as spring approached, we've gotten a little bit busier again, you'll see what averages over a 6-month period, about 38 riders per month. And then the back page just indicates the hours that we operate. Basically, we operate the vehicle from here in Memphis from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then on Saturdays from 9 until 3. As you're aware, the vehicles also get used for a couple other things in the community. We've used them this year for the DIA. We used it once just a couple months back, and I think there's a trip going again this Thursday night that's leaving from the library to do a tour of the artwork. We also use them quite a bit during the Memphis Days Festival here in the community, and there's no additional cost for those uses. There's dollars that we set aside in the budget for communities to Memphis to use them when they need to for those kind of events, and the city of Richmond uses them during good old days and things like that. So there's money set aside for those kind of events to take place. So that there's no extra cost for that.
Okay, that it, Jeff?
That's it.
Okay, then, we will need a motion then to approve the expenditures as outlined in the document that you have, where on the municipal credit, $798 goes to the Richmond Lennox EMS, and the community credit, $16,002 goes to the Richmond EMS, and which is total of $2,400, and balance of $347 will be used for the van bus operations, and then approved for me to sign it. So I need that motion.
So moved.
Or
Did you get that?
Wilson,
Yes.
Superstar,
Yes.
Lucas W,
Yes.
Davis,
yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stoops.
The next is a invoice from the fire department for the St. Clair Plumbing and Heating invoice for $600. What's the 142 days overdue? What is that important? Or, seems to be.
Yeah, well, there's a little, I had questioned a little bit of work that they did with it. So they credited, because I didn't feel that what they did was worth $900 initially what they billed us. So meeting with their general manager and discussing what they did, and he came out, they credited us that amount.
345?
Yes, and now it is, or is it $600?
It's $600, yeah. Okay. All right. And it's
The work that we needed to get some ductwork replaced, and the furnace needed some updates to it as well. It wasn't running properly. The work got completed. I was looking for a little bit better quality of the job. It works, but so that's why they credited it.
okay. Well, at least you've saved us $325. Okay, and no more questions. I need a motion to approve the invoice for $600 to set that one.
I make that motion.
Lukasar?
Yes.
Lucas W.?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Stoops?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes. Next is the fire department grant. We don't have any documents on it, so I guess it's up to you to explain that. 'Cause I don't have, at least I don't have anything.
You said
We-
you were gonna bring in a letter. Or
Oh,
something.
okay. We received $1,000 from Enbridge from a grant that we had written back in January, I believe it was. So we were awarded a grant for $1,000. It's gonna go towards some uniforms. I'll have that for next city council meeting, but if we could accept that
Yeah,
grant.
okay, then we
And
just,
I'll give you guys an
and then-
update as to what
next-
we're gonna use it for.
1,000 even?
yeah.
Correct.
I'll make a motion to accept $1,000 from Enbridge for uniform
Support.
purchases.
Lucas W.?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Stoops?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Lukasar?
Yes.
Okay, the next is the MML candidates for four-year terms. They, we do this every year. There's usually 6 candidates and there's usually 6 openings. So it's just kind of elementary, but I guess we could make a motion to approve the candidates, or the 6 candidates for four-year terms for the, I think it's the compensation fund, is it? Yes, yeah, okay, so I just need a motion to approve that.
Make a motion to approve the candidates for the MML compensation fund.
Support.
Davis?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Stoops?
Yes.
Wilson?
Yes.
Wilson? Lukasar?
Yes.
Lucas W.?
Yes.
Okay, the next issue is the CDB grant for the ADA Community Center ramp versus an elevator. I give you a memo there, and it kind of explains kind of the situation. Just to kind of recap it a little bit, Bart and I discussed this about a month or so ago, that if you have the ramp and the handicap, in order to use the bathrooms, has to exit the ramp and come back outside and then back into the building. And so we thought about possibly if we had a custom-made elevator specifically for the space involved, it would be a better option. And so we did get a quote on that, and it was at $12,390. There would be some work that we would have to do as far as leveling the floor and so on, because I think it'd have to go down about 3 inches.
Right.
That correct, Bart? So, I did talk to Andrew over there. And he did bring up the fact that they don't really have another way to get out of the building in an emergency other than coming through the front. Now, there is an exit way back there, and it's not,
No,
it's
there's
not,
not.
there was.
The door's only like 5'10" tall.
Oh, well, there is an
There's
exit.
no light in the staircase.
We did look
In the
at
back
that.
there?
We're talking in the library. The library has a back.
Yeah, the library has.
Oh,
You're talking
Yeah,
the church.
But it doesn't have, but that one, no, it's not, yeah, you're right, it's not big enough. It's there, but it's not very good.
Yeah, it's,
So, I guess there's a pros and cons to this. I think an elevator would be best. But however, we would lose the $15,000 for the ramp, but putting the elevator in does qualify for the future CBG funds, which we're in a 3-year cycle, and that cycle comes up again next year in 2016. So there's pros and cons to it. I don't know how the council feels about it. I assume by reading this letter, you at least got some idea what we're thinking, but But, you know, I do have mixed emotions about it, but I do think an elevator would be best, but, again, you only have one way to get out of that building, I mean, the community center, and that's through the front. The other, you could get out, but you're right, it's not, the door's not.
So it'll be the same
closed.
spot that
Yes.
the other elevator was in that we never
Yeah,
finished?
Yes, but it'd be custom made for that.
Yeah.
That elevator that we did have in there, as you know, was the
door opened the wrong way.
door
Right.
opened the wrong way. And when a wheelchair went out, they were only a few inches from the stair steps. So it just wasn't feasible at all. It's too bad because it was already there, but this one would be built specifically custom made for that opening.
Just fit right in there.
Right.
Okay.
And so, I don't know, what do you feel about it? I mean,
I think it's a lot better idea than the ramp.
Well, I think personally, I think you need to put the ramp in, because the fact of the matter is, in the long term, the ramp's gonna hold up longer, it's gonna last longer, you're not gonna have nearly the maintenance on it that you would an elevator from year to year. You're gonna have to have that checked and tested every year.
well, it has to be, you're definitely right. It does have
You're
to go
talking,
through.
you're talking about a specialty elevator, and they may quote you at 12, but more than likely, they're gonna have difficulties and problems, because it's specialty built, then you will have specialty
Well,
parts and so forth.
they do build these type of elevators. This wouldn't be, you know, unique, in your opinion.
It's just specific for that,
Yeah.
that building.
Yeah,
The one that we had before actually came out of like a hardware store.
right.
Yeah.
But for the quantity of use that I would assume that it's probably gonna get, which is gonna be next to minimal or none, the ramp's just gonna last longer and be more, it'll get more use than the elevator will in the long run.
But you're talking about having to go all the way outside to go back in and go to the bathroom?
I have to walk a long ways to go to the bathroom when I'm at work, so
That just
it's
doesn't
not,
sound
it's just an inconvenience, it's not
So it's
life or
pouring
death.
outside, you're gonna
Well-
go outside in the rain, come back in, to go to the bathroom.
They're gonna go to their car, they're gonna get wet too, so.
Well, you gotta still make it.
In the wintertime, you're gonna have a little hard time going up that.
Well, you gotta remember too, this is for handicapped people, so it's not a matter of just walking to, so if they're wheelchairs and such, they need to wheel out down the ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're still talking of how many handicapped people do we have running to our library? Not to be inconsiderate of being it, we have to be compliant, we don't have to be, we're not filing 300 handicapped wheelchair accessible people through our library on any given week.
To be compliant with the grant, the building has to be handicap accessible, you just can't do it half. I'll give you an example, the fire department, this grant that we were approved for, the door, the entrance is gonna be handicap accessible, but the bathrooms are not. So we're not really compliant with the grant. If we go through with this, that portion of the building will not be
They can get
handicap
in.
accessible. They can get in, but they will not be able to use the bathroom. That does not count as a handicap accessible room.
Now,
You
this
can't
one-
just do a door and not the rest of the building. If you let them in, you've got to give full access of handicap accessible to make it officially handicap. So to be compliant with the grant, you've got to be, the building has to be handicap accessible, not just getting in.
Now, just tell you one thing that is that this grant is very close to being completed. We were told a couple weeks ago it'd be done in a couple of weeks. The grant would be approved in a couple of weeks. So it's something that we can't delay. We got to make a decision tonight.
Well, therein lies the other problem. If you delay it and you cancel, then you're not gonna have a ramp for a year or better until we get the monies for the elevator.
Well, that's
But we
leaves
haven't,
us
we
out of
haven't
compliance
had any
anyways.
accessibility there for many years, so.
Yeah, that's true. The grant will be probably, I'd say the middle of the year to maybe September. Although I think they're putting it up now, where it used to be back in the fall. I think they're.
Yeah.
But even so, the monies wouldn't be released probably till the following year. It is our history on those grants. So.
Is this the same building we saved all that money from paying off
Yeah.
3 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We also could
take out a short-term loan actually and pay it back when we get the CDBG money probably. If you really wanted to do something right away.
You could actually, you
Theoretically.
I don't,
could
I,
actually
Or borrow
borrow
it
it from
from-
water and sewer
Right,
and
exactly.
pay that back.
well, you mean on the elevator?
Yeah.
I think we'd have to check on that. We've done that in the past, but the project's already been approved, and the elevator has not been approved. So I'm not sure that we could do that. We could do it with the ramp, but you couldn't, I'm not sure you could do it with the elevator. That's something we have.
Well, I mean, normally we get CDBG money for the roads.
Yeah, but when we do it for the roads, it's already approved, it's already went through the process, the bid process. And we did it on Pratt Road years ago, and then on.
Did it over here?
Yeah.
Cole Street.
Yeah, Cole Street, so, but the project's already been approved, and the trouble with the elevator, it hasn't went through that process, so I think we'd have to qualify that, whether we could do that or not.
Well, no, it'd be the next CDBG money. Not in this, it would have nothing to do with this. Because you're gonna take it out.
Now, what was your question again?
Well, I'm just saying, if we take out the ramp, we've already lost the money for the ramp, right?
Yes. Yeah, but that,
But we're gonna get $90,000 in CDBG money next year.
well, it'll be.
Roughly.
Yes, that's historically correct, yeah, that's right.
Why don't we just go on with the ramp, and this, next year, if we feel we need the elevator, we can try to get the elevator.
Well,
Like I mentioned, you have to read your grant and see if you're compliant that way. Putting in that ramp won't make that building a handicap accessible building. You may have to do all the steps to comply with that grant. I would just be cautious on it. If you only do a portion of it and then the building's not handicap accessible, you may not receive that money.
I don't even know if the bathroom over there is.
Well,
handicap
Yes,
accessible.
it is.
That's what you gotta look into. You just can't do it halfway. It's gotta be the whole thing.
But the bathrooms are,
Yeah.
but the building wouldn't be compliant with having a ramp outside where people have to exit the building and down the ramp and then back into the building.
Well, the grant has been approved.
Yes, it is.
For the elevator, for the ramp, and it's just, it's all went through the process, everything's been approved, the ADA doors, everything, all that's been approved. And once the money's released, which, it will be released at any time now, we can then proceed with everything. So,
Did we have like a price of the ramp and the new door and the work?
the total grant is called $54,100. And that then is, certain things were allocated for doors, certain parts were allocated for the ramp over there, and the doors at the youth center.
I'm assuming, so the door's gonna be like 3,000 or something?
Yeah,
And then the ramp is,
yeah.
1,500. Looks like the
15,000.
elevator is cheaper than
The elevator,
It's cheaper
well,
than that, because
you
it says
really
the
don't
ramp
know.
is 15,000.
We're going by an estimate, no, the elevators are for a quote, but you never know about the rest until it's actually quoted. These are all estimated costs that we have.
you
And now,
have to salt it and shovel it too.
So, and you never, it's just like our roads.
And the ramp's like 45 feet long or something, right? Is that what we said?
yeah, it goes almost the length of the building, then wraps across the front, there's another cement pad forward.
Well, and you gotta have like a platform, so many feet, so you come up, and you hit a platform, and then you proceed up. It's gotta, you can't go straight up, so it depends on the length, it's all
I
done.
think there's 5 landings or 4 landings at least in the distance.
There's at least 3, maybe 4.
But you said that, you guys said that this would help make compliant of a fire exit out back, towards the back of that end of the building.
Well, you would have another exit, legitimate exit, you're right.
So
which we don't-
either way, you might as well just put the ramp in, as well as next year follow up with trying to figure out how to do the elevator.
Yeah, if we want to do that, yeah.
Because then you would have the fire exit as well as the elevator,
Yeah.
if we don't have to comply for making a new bathroom in there.
I think we just discussed just the appearance itself too.
Well, Yeah, but
There's a lot of appearances in town that aren't gonna look good
Well,
anymore, so.
why add another one?
Why fight over it?
You know, well, again, if you don't have to add another one, even though we were trying to put it together with a lot of maintenance free, the railing and such, and the boards themselves for the decking of it.
Plastic?
Yeah, the composite.
Yeah, it is composite, yeah, it's not entirely maintenance free, but I think if you had a wooden deck, it'd be more maintenance to
Oh,
it,
yeah.
than the
And plastic's
composites.
so slippery too when it's wet.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, no, I think there'll be, something on that to help.
Plus, now you're gonna have a door, a 36-inch door that opens right into the main room every time somebody goes in and out of there. Unless you're planning on putting like a vestibule or some kind of,
You know.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'll go directly in there.
Right.
It's at that last window. Well, any more discussions? I know, well then, let's make a motion then, well, whatever way you want, make a motion that we'll,
I make a motion, we just continue on with the grant as is.
I'll support that.
Good idea.
Give me just 1 second. Parker,
Yes.
Schneider,
Yes.
Stoops,
Yes.
Wilson,
I gotta make a motion to it, 'cause I'd like to pass it, but I can't.
and Bob is in now.
No, I'll say no. I still think the elevator's best, but I understand. I
I
know.
misunderstood the question then.
Sukasar,
No.
Sukas W.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Okay, so Parker, Schneider, Stoops, Sukas W, Davis, yes. Wilson, Sukasar, no. Motion passed.
Okay.
I'm asking Jay to let him know the procedure.
Yeah, we'll have to call,
Yeah.
you want me to call or you want to
Yeah,
call?
I'll get.
You take care of it.
Well, are you sure? Because I have the letter from
Yeah.
Don.
If you, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just make sure that we're gonna proceed with it. Yeah, and I, I mixed emotions about it, so. whatever.
I do like the idea of having another exit in there. so-
Well, that's what Andrew pointed out to me.
I think we still need to pursue the elevator
I
down
do
the road.
too. I think the elevator's still a good idea.
So we'll look at that, well, I may not be on council, but I'm sure you'll look at it down the road.
Oh, I heard you're running again.
The only reason is I might be bored out of my tree if I don't, that's the problem. So, anyway, we'll see. Okay, from the mayor, got two things. We had new people on the garbage pickup, and I think some people missed the boat because they come early.
Yeah, they're a lot earlier than the other.
Yeah, there was,
Right.
I heard at least one complaining.
Yeah.
We're early.
Well, that's going to be their schedule. And so they like the garbage out by 7 a.m. I normally put mine out by 6:37 anyway, so I didn't miss the boat. But I think some did, and I believe Barb's going to have it in the voice, I think, correct? So we're just announcing that they'd like it out by 7 a.m. The second thing I have at the chamber meeting,
9 o'clock.
they're
We don't have any more.
the signs at coming into Memphis, the wooden signs are needing some restoration. They're going to supply the stain, and they got somebody to do it for nothing. So they're going to try to repair those. And I noticed coming in that sometimes you can't distinguish what they say from, because they are kind of faded. So,
They've cut the weeds down underneath it too.
yeah. So anyway, so they're going to restore those. Hopefully they'll have them done within a few weeks. And I have one other thing. Blood drive for Richmond Lennox EMS and the American Red Cross on Thursday, July 9th of 2015, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and the new location, Lennox Township office at 63775 Gratiot in Lennox. So, and save a life, donate blood. I guess Jeff's probably in charge of that, right, Jeff? Yeah.
What's the date on that, Larry?
It's on Thursday, July 9th. Okay, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, and that's all I have. Robbie?
I don't have anything, thank you.
Drake?
Just one thing, Jeff actually touched on it, this Thursday, I'm not sure when this is gonna be on Channel 6, so we'll have to see, but this Thursday is the final art tour. It's a little bit different this time, it starts at 6 p.m., somebody from the DA is gonna come here, and we're gonna have a little discussion about some of the artists and stuff like that beforehand, and then she is actually going to lead the art tour this time. There's only one bus, and I have a feeling it's probably already been filled up, but you know, you're welcome to follow the bus in your car, your bicycle, or just walk around town. We've had people do all three of those things on almost every one, and if you haven't been to one yet, I would recommend it. It's a lot of fun. That's all I have.
Okay.
And nothing.
Bill?
Nothing.
Have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.